Tina from Shabbydabbydoodah. Welcome back to my channel. So I'm here for a bit of a play around. I've got some of my fussy cut packs that I have hopefully got them in my shop at the moment. Obviously these are quite time consuming to put together, so they're very limited numbers. I'm hoping they're going to be something that I will just run from time to time, but obviously, like I say, they're going to be something that, you know, it's going to be just on an ad hoc basis. They are all on a potluck basis as well. So, you know, whatever I show here is not going to be identical to any other pack. You know, it's highly unlikely that you would get an identical pack. So, yeah. Basically, you get 40 die cut / fussy cut pieces, and I have fussy cut them all or scan and cut. Mainly fussy cut, I have to say. Yeah, these are mainly the efforts of my kind of evening entertainment, you know, whilst we're watching TV. So they get, yes, you get 40 fussy cuts per pack. Now, all I'm going to do is give you a kind of rough, you know, show of what you would get. And then we're going to kind of have a play and set about using one of these packs. So that you can see the types of things that you could do with your pack. Like I say, they're going to be completely potluck basis. So whatever I have in my pack is not going to be the same as what you will have in your pack. You may have one or two of the items, but you definitely won't have, you know, identical packets. You know, they're mixed on colour. So we've got a green pack here, a blue / beige pack here, and obviously a purple / brown pack here. So I'm going to work with this one, and I'm going to use it with this masterboard that we've done. So yeah, I'm going to put these to one side, and yeah, let's just kind of get playing with this. So it will come to you obviously in this cellophane bag. It will be sealed. I haven't sealed mine. It will have a little kind of sheet of card / paper at the back, which you could then obviously use to, you know, to make other things with. Again, the card / paper at the back is going to vary in terms of, you know, what piece of paper it is. So this is my 40 fussy cut pieces. I can't stress enough, I'm so sorry to keep on like a scratch record, but honestly and truly, this is not going to be representative of what's in every single pack. For instance, I'm not sure that I've got any other packs with windows in. You know, it's just going to be, you know, yeah, completely potluck and like a lucky dip, really. But you're going to get a good variety of fussy cuts coordinating with each other. So as I say, this is a purple / brown based kit. And so obviously all the pieces are purple / brown. Obviously these windows are slightly pinky, but again, I thought they toned really nicely with the bits and pieces. So this is kind of just, you know, just to give you a rough idea, the types of things that you will get. Now, I've tried to do them where you won't get repeat items. That being said, of course, once or twice you might get items that are either similar but different sizes, or, you know, maybe once or twice, you know, items will slip through the net and you would have a double up of something. But on the whole, I would try and do them where, you know, they're one-off pieces. So if you bought, you know, more than one kit, hopefully you would get, yeah, well, I was going to say all different pieces, but actually that's not true at all, because of course all the kits are different. So yeah, just scrap that. Right, so this is a kind of like bit of an overview of the types of things that you may or may not get in your pack. And I thought, let's come along with our bits and pieces and do like a fussy cut masterboard using some of these bits and bobs that would have been in the fussy cut pack. So I think first of all, I'm going to just pile them all onto here. So they're not actually, you know, all over the masterboard, because of course then that's going to be tricky to stick them on if they're actually all over the place. So yeah, let's just pile them all, pile them all on here. And obviously you may or may not have seen my recent video where we put this masterboard together. So this is a combination of the Tim Holtz and digital papers. So we've got Tim Holtz papers and digital papers. And yeah, I mean, obviously this has got a lilac-y kind of theme with it. So hence I thought that this particular fussy cut pack would be a nice one to come and play with. So I'm just going to get literally sticking some bits on, I think. So, and I want to make it an eclectic, you know, lovely sort of mix, really. I don't want to kind of narrow myself down too much in terms of, you know, yeah, the types of bits. I just want to be completely random with my choices. So I'm just going to place some around so that I get, you know, a bit of an idea where I want to put them, because I don't want to start sticking things on and then, you know, kind of wish that I put them elsewhere. So we'll just get putting some down roughly where, you know, where we think we might like to have them. So let's have a look. Okay. Still debating whether to have this window here or not. If I do, kind of thinking, or maybe a flower or something actually on that window. Well, that's quite pretty, isn't it? Got an umbrella in this particular pack. So yeah, like this. So yeah, I mean, we're just kind of literally getting them all down, you know, in the most random of ways. So I might actually start sticking them on now. Okay. I just find it quite helpful. I know I've said this lots of times before, but you know, once I start sticking them down, it just actually helps me to sort of commit to items. I'm not sure whether I actually want that window there, so I'm just going to put that to one side for a minute. You know, because I might prefer to actually save the window for something else and have smaller pieces on this collage board. So, oh, that's quite nice, for instance, isn't it? Oh yeah, preferring that. Yes, definitely preferring that. Oh, that's pretty, isn't it? Yeah, love how that looks. Okay. So obviously in this one, you've got the shoes and things. Again, you know, you won't necessarily have shoes. You know, it's just, yeah, it's going to just be luck of the draw, you know, what you would get in your fussy cut packs. I think I've put 7 in my shop. I mean, like I say, I would love to put more in. But they do take quite a long time because, I mean, obviously I've cut the pieces by hand, or even with the fussy cut scan and cut machine. It's not the fastest, you know, of machines. So, you know, even if I were using that, it's still, you know, a time consuming process to say the least. So yeah, I would like to put more in, but it's just going to be a, you know, as and when I can, really. I did say that, you know, I was going to try and have more physical items in my shop, you know, hopefully over the course of this year, but I'm going to try and mix them up. I mean, I would love to just carry a range of, you know, physical things all the time, but because that's tricky to do, you know, time-wise, I'm going to just mix it up so that I have, you know, sometimes, I don't know, sometimes the book page kits, sometimes these, you know, fussy cut packs. And then hopefully, you know, there would be something fun to look at all the time, and something new to look at all the time, or, you know, often anyway. Right, just wondering whether I could have that bow there. I like the, you know, lots of layers and lots of mixing up. I think it's quite fun to do that. So, yeah, let's have that bow there. Oops, actually, slightly further over. Yeah, like that. Okay, I'm just going to pop some of these numbers down. The numbers are brilliant because they're like a sort of basic that you can just have anywhere and then layer things like on top. You know, they're like a really good, yeah, like a base layer, you know, because everything then can be layered up from the numbers, which, you know, is quite fun to do then. So, I mean, I think that's quite pretty like that. And I've just torn those butterfly film strips in half because, you know, then A, it goes further, and B, I actually think they look nicer in the twos. So, yeah, you know, don't be afraid to kind of tear your bits and pieces up as well, you know, so that you've got different sort of configurations to how they come. So let me just move these to the other side now, so that I can actually get around, you know, get around the board. So I might have this one down here actually. Again, just so that we're mixing it up and having, you know, an eclectic mix rather than everything in the same place. Oh, that's quite cute, isn't it? Or do I want to have like a bow there? I do like the butterfly kind of sideways on like that. I think that's quite pretty. And like I say, I do really like being able to layer up the bits and pieces, because, you know, it just all adds to the extra interest, doesn't it? Oh, I can't see now whether this is up the right way or the wrong way. Oh. Nearly put it on the wrong way up. Honestly, so hard to see sometimes. Okay, like that. Right, going to put that butterfly down here. Oh, sorry, this has got some stuff on the back. I will try and make sure that they don't have things on the back, the things I include in your kits, but again, the odd one might slip through, I guess, where it's got things on the back. So I do apologise for that, if that, you know, if that happens at all. Like I say, I will try my best to make sure that doesn't really happen, but as we just saw with that one, there are going to be times where it, you know, it just slips through. So yeah, I will try my best not to, but as with all these things, you know, just sometimes they have this sneaky way of just slipping through the net. Okay. Oh, that's quite pretty. Yeah, quite like it like that. Now, do I want that butterfly there, or just check? I love it with this circle, kind of like down the, you know, down the handle. That's really cute. Really, really cute. I just put another number there, or we could have that number there. Oh, maybe there. Yeah, maybe like that. I love doing these cluttered collage masterboards. They're so fun. You know, they're just, yeah, really, really fun to do. So, I mean, again, if you haven't done any of these, then honestly, I would really recommend them. They're quite relaxing. And they're just really fun. You know, something completely different. And you can just really go to town and put all sorts of things. I mean, I've got all sorts of things going on here. Nothing which you would generally put together in real life, you know. The bows, the boots, the butterflies, the flowers, you know, the butterflies, the umbrellas, all of those kind of weird and wonderful things, which, you know, generally, you know, you wouldn't sort of have together in real life, but don't they look so awesome when you put them together on a masterboard? Just really, really, really love them. They're really, really fun. Just wondering if I could have this window on here. Probably haven't really left enough room to now have that, to be honest, which is a bit of a shame. Didn't really kind of think too much where I was going to put that. So I'm just wondering whether I could have half a window here. Just see. Or I might just keep the windows for another project, to be honest. Yeah, I might just keep those for another project, because we could always then use them on something else completely, couldn't we? Right, let's decide where I want these few pieces that are here. Oops. How fun are all of these little bits and bobs. Now the teapot, thinking cut the you know, the inside of the handle out. So I know I've showed this before, but yeah, I just like to go in on an obvious place and then just cut around like that, rather than trying to, you know, faff around with a craft knife, which personally I just don't find very easy. You know, I just find this a much quicker and easier method. And then of course when you glue this down, that will just glue back into place. No one will ever know that you've done that, she says. It's not looking great, but yeah, you know, because then you can just glue that in and yeah, it's just kind of seamless. So that's kind of my preferred method. Definitely. Right, let's put this shoe up there. Okay. I don't know about you guys, but you know, like if I make something like a kit or, you know, fussy cuts or the book pages or, you know, anything like that, or even my digis, you know, I really love, you know, coming along and having a play myself with things, because, you know, that's the only way that you actually then ensure that, you know, you're selling things that have got lots of usable bits, because, you know, it's only through kind of using them yourself that then you might think, oh, actually, you know, I wish I had this in that kit, or, you know, I wish I had that. So it's kind of like, yeah, just beneficial, I think, to actually be able to, you know, come along and make some bits yourself, or do some things yourself, you know, with the kit when you make things, because, you know, you just do often then sort of, you know, spot other things or kind of think, oh, actually could have done with, you know, this, that and the other. You know, and yeah, I mean, you want to sell things that people are, you know, genuinely going to be happy with and be able to make, you know, good projects with. You know, you don't want to kind of sell something that actually, if you'd come to use it, you think, oh, well, actually, it's not really got enough bits and pieces there, or, you know, it's not, I don't know, not, you know, not a big enough kit or something like that. You want to sell things that are really, you know, really usable and useful. So I just think this is, you know, for me, the best way to do it is to actually come along and play myself, you know, because then you're going to really, you know, that's how you're going to really tell, have you got the right balance, you know, going on, have you got the right mix of things. I mean, like I say, these are all a potluck basis anyway, you know, so you're not going to have identical items, but at least I can tell that the quantity's good, you know, and all of that kind of stuff by coming on and playing myself. So, you know, that's just something that I would, yeah, would recommend doing, is, you know, if you're selling things, kind of try and see whether you find them usable yourself, or just picture yourself using them and think, well, you know, if I opened that pack, would that excite me? You know, would that feel exciting to open, or would I kind of think, oh, you know, it's missing stuff? And, you know, hopefully you'd kind of feel excited by the things that, you know, you've put together. Okay. Just put in the last few bits on. Now, this one here, I'm going to just cut these leaves off. So, I mean, again, you know, if there's things that you think, oh, you know, like the, what was it that we cut in half? Did we cut something in half earlier? Oh, I don't know whether we did, actually. Maybe we didn't. Maybe I'm talking rubbish. But, yeah, I mean, if there's anything that you think, oh, you know, prefer that, just cut the bits off. And, you know, I'm sure that, you know, you'll then kind of, you know, your natural instinct of how you think that they're going to be more useful is probably right. You know, that's probably going to be how you would genuinely find it more useful. So, yeah, don't be afraid to kind of mix things up and experiment. because I'm sure that if you're feeling, oh, you know, I would have liked this, or I would have liked it, like for instance here, this flower, you know, without those brown leaves, cut them off. And, you know, your instincts were probably right, and you probably will prefer it. And then, you know, if you don't, you could probably glue those leaves back on, or glue it on in a way that, you know, the leaves are sort of glued back on. So don't be afraid to put things back, you know, or put things on in a way that you feel is better for your project. You know, because just because they've been put together in one way doesn't mean that that's the only way. It, you know, it's just a kind of mere suggestion, isn't it? And, you know, you may then think, well, actually, I'd have preferred it like this or like that. So, I mean, for instance, I've still got those leaves, so I could still have those. I'm going to just trim them down here, just so they've got a neat edge for if I want to butt them up against anything. Then I've got somewhere or something neat here. But, you know, I might decide actually I prefer it without them. But like over here, got obviously that brown shoe. So actually it might look quite cool there. So, I mean, I didn't throw them away, and actually, you know, they still have been perfectly usable on something else, on another part. So again, I mean, don't throw things away, because who knows where you might then be able to bring them in and use them. Oops. Okay. So, yeah, let's just see. Just deciding where to have these last few bits and pieces. So, thinking, do I want the teapot? Or do I like the teapot, I think, down here. I think that looks really cute. Yeah. Let's just cut this. It's always a bit tricky because you think, oh, I wonder how I'm going to cut this masterboard up. You know, how would I be using it? But again, you know, you don't necessarily want to go into then overthinking mode. So just play around and sort of go with, again, you know, your natural kind of instincts and think, oh, well, I probably, you know, I probably cut it about here, or I probably do something like this, or, you know, that type of thing. So, oops. Okay. Right. So just a few bits left. Okay. I quite like that there. I have got a few bows. Now, don't forget, I have got those windows, so I might want to just keep the bows and then use them when we use the windows, to be honest. It's actually quite easy using these from a pack rather than just willy-nilly having like a whole bunch of stuff to choose from, because a bit like, you know, if you limit yourself to certain supplies only, or five supplies, things like that, sometimes it can make the process a little bit easier, because actually sometimes I find, you know, you can be spoilt for choice, and then, you know, it becomes very, very difficult to choose. And yeah, sometimes just narrowing down your focus or your choices, it can be a little bit easier. Okay. Like that. Okie dokie. Let's just check. Oh, I quite like it like that, I think. Oh, that's quite nice, isn't it? A little sort of cluster almost going on there. So yeah, let's just pop this one down like that. Again, this is one of those situations where it all needs to be glued in order, because some of those bits are sort of touching, you know, like the layers kind of need to go one on top of each other. So just kind of concentrating a little bit how I'm gluing these on. Okay. Oh, how pretty does that look? Love how this is looking, I must say. It's really, really gorgeous. Okay. Right, just a couple of bits left. So I might even save these to use with the windows. I know, not really worth it, is it? There's like 3 things, but yeah, maybe I will just leave these. Or maybe I'll have this one here. Quite nice just there in that sort of random space. Okay. Like that. Layer glued on, and then this piece saying journal. Just put that there. And then actually I just suddenly spotted I've got the postage stamp there as well. So again, you know, just see where that might fit. Oh, it's a tough decision. I do like those flowers there, I think, yeah. Just checking whether I'd like to have them anywhere else. You know, sort of more have them with the postage stamp, because that's quite pretty, isn't it? Unless I have the postage stamp up there. Well, that's quite nice. Right, okay. So just pop that down there, like that. Oops. And the purple flowers. Okay. Just there, like that. So that's the whole masterboard now. Oops, oh no, it's not. Oh, and this. Oh, keep on finding extra bits. Yeah, I mean, I might just save these 2 bits, because, yeah, it might be a bit late to put this one on, because this one might be a bit big now to have anywhere. Might have to save that piece, and, yeah, maybe save this one. I mean, it hardly seems worth it, does it, for this one little piece, but well, I guess I could just have it there. Perhaps I'll just have it there. Okay. So, yeah, just pop that like that. So, yeah, that's that whole cluttered masterboard now. So, I mean, doesn't it look just scrumptious and gorgeous? Love how it all looks, I must say. All those colours just, oh, I mean, I'm glancing actually up through the camera, which, you know, you always get this different sort of perspective when you're looking straight down on things, and it just looks like a garden. When I'm looking down, you know, it must be picking up this central piece, and through the camera it looks like a garden. I don't know whether it's looking like that on your screens, but yeah, to me, through the camera, it looks like I'm looking right down on a gorgeous, gorgeous garden. Really super colourful and really, really gorgeous. So, yeah, I mean, isn't that just so scrumptious? So that was kind of using all of those fussy cuts. I mean, like I say, we've got a couple of things left. So we've got the window, or two windows left. We've got this piece left, and we've got this, and a bow, and the house number. So we could always do something else with those. Now, obviously, you know, again, I must stress, this is not necessarily going to be the things that you will contain, or, you know, that you would have contained in your packet. And so, again, if you did something like this, you may end up managing to use your entire packet, or, you know, you might just use half your packet or something like that. Or, you know, you might not even do something like this. You know, completely kind of, yeah, completely random sort of selection of things. But, oh, I just love that board. Right, let's move that to one side. So I'm just going to bring this in. Now this is some Tim Holtz paper. This was just what I had it sort of, you know, not balanced, but put on just for the purposes of doing the video, really. So yeah, let's just make something with this. So I might just literally take this down to form a pocket like that. Oops. Oh, come on. So just to kind of, you know, just use up, like, say, a window on here. And again, could then use some other bits that were contained in there. Now, I'm thinking flapping shutters, or I could open the window. I have to say, I just generally like these with the flapping shutters, really. I think I have opened the window a couple of times on, yeah, on something. I can't remember what I was making, but I think I really just like the flapping shutters. So I'm just going to do that. And they just work really nicely when you just do that. Now I'm going to ink around this. So again, just ink that up. I'm just using my vintage photo here. Okay. And just go all over the kind of middle there. Okie dokie. So, I mean, this Tim Holtz piece, this just happened to be laying around on the desk. But I thought, oh, I think, you know, that would go quite nicely. And yeah, I mean, it just goes perfectly, doesn't it, to be honest? Oh, I mean, even that just looks lovely, doesn't it? You know, and we've not really done anything there. So I've just got to the side of me some of these labels. So I'm just going to see. Obviously, this is now, you know, things that are not contained in the Fussy Cuts pack. You know, this label not contained in the Fussy Cuts pack. But I just thought, you know, it was beside me and I thought, oh, colour-wise, I think this would actually go pretty nicely on here. So, yeah, I'm just going to mix that in. So I'm just going to put this down. Onto this Tim Holtz piece. Like that. Okay. Oops. And then just going to glue this one down now. I'm just going to go over here where I've just got a bit of white showing, where I tore that in a shoddy way. Yeah, so I hope that everybody's having a good day, maybe doing some crafting. I'd love to hear what projects that you're working on at the moment. I know I do say this all the time, but I mean, it's so lovely to hear what people are working on, because, you know, it really is great when you're, you know, lacking kind of inspiration. It's really lovely to hear what other people are working on, because then sometimes it can just kind of, you know, spur some inspiration, you know, for other people. So do share, you know, do share kind of things that you're working on, because I think it's, yeah, it's helpful for everybody. Okay. I mean, I love those fussy cut packs. I know I've said before, I mean, they're kind of like a bit of a weakness of mine. So, I mean, probably my purchase weaknesses would be, you know, stamps. Well, it's a tough one, actually. I'm not sure whether stamps would come before paper or after paper, but it's a combination. Stamps, paper, they're probably similar, probably the same. Yeah, I can't say that I prefer one to the other. I love stamps and I love paper equally. So they are on my favourite things to buy. And then alongside stamps and paper, obviously, are fussy cuts. So doing these packs, for me, this is something really, really exciting, because I love buying paper packs from other, you know, other brands. And yeah, to do my own is really exciting. So I wanted to come along and just kind of see how they compare. You know, do I feel that there's a really nice mix here? you know, for me personally, I think there is. But yeah, I mean, obviously, I'm just, you know, just sort of giving my own opinion really. But yeah, I mean, for me personally, I think there's a really nice mix of things. You know, so, but there's something that I really, really love using or buying and using, you know. So yeah, to be able to do my own and sell them is very, very exciting. I love putting them together, you know, selecting pieces and putting them in together. It's really fun. So yeah, I really hope that you like them. If you know, if you have bought or are going to buy any, I really hope that you like them and you know, that you're pleased with them. So okay. Okie dokie. Obviously, I couldn't just have no lace. I was going to, and then I just thought, oh, that just looks boring. Boring with no lace. I'm sorry, my phone keeps on pinging. I don't know what that's about, but yeah, it just keeps on pinging, so I do apologise for that. I'm sure it's nothing very exciting. It's probably like, you know, parent mail from like the school, you know, oh, you've got a new newsletter to read or something like that. But yeah, I don't think it's anything very, very exciting. Right, I think that looks nice. And then I think going to finish this off with a little butterfly as well. So I might put the lace down afterwards. So I'm just going to put the window on here, like that. Okay, like that, and yeah. Just check which piece of lace I prefer. I know, I mean, there's hardly anything in it, but, you know, kind of us crafters, we want to use the right piece, don't we? We don't want to make a mistake and go with the wrong piece. So, yeah, I'm going to go with this one. So I'm just going to use my wet glue and just try and put it a little bit direct onto that lace. Okay. Like that. So just press that down like that, and yeah, let me just see if I've got any butterflies or anything that would go on this piece. I don't know whether I have. Oh, what's this? Oh, I'm not sure. Let me just see if I ink up around the edges so as it would stand out a bit more. That's quite pretty, isn't it? Yeah, so I might just do that. Which side? Which side? Ooh. Or I could even have it down there a bit. Sorry, I've got a long hot glue thread hanging. Perhaps I have it here. Right. Okay. Pop that in there, and then I think just finish it off with a little tiny bit of bling would look lovely. So again, just happen to have this little bit here, so let's try that. That's a bit long. Let me just cut one off. Okay. Oh, sorry, gone all fingers and thumbs suddenly. So yeah, sorry about this. Right, okay, fiddly. All right, let's try. Okay, come on. Ooh. Oh, how gorgeous does that look? Yeah, love how that looks. So, you know, that's just to kind of give you an idea of, like, you know, if you didn't want to do like a cluttered masterboard or something like that with your die cut pieces. This is obviously using 4 die cut pieces. This was something different. You know, and I've obviously got just the window and this number now left, but you know, again, I could do something similar with these. I won't do now because, you know, we're probably kind of getting a bit sort of lengthy on the video, but yeah, I mean, I really hope that you like the little die cut packs. Like I say, I had such a lovely time putting them together, and yeah, I just hope that you all think that there's a nice kind of mix of things, and you know, that yeah, you would all kind of like to use them if you know, if you get them. I hope that you have a lovely time using them. So yep, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Thanks then. Bye.